Welcome back, everyone. One thing that is clear to the new national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Yocha Ayu, is that his party, the People's Democratic Party, will win the 2023 presidential election. He has as much conviction. Well, in his words, and I quote, he said, recently the PDP will definitely produce the next president and take the country back to the days when we were in power, when we cleared all foreign debts, when we were developing this country at reasonable speed, and when we became the richest country on the African continent, end of quote. The PDP has boasted about its ability to rescue Nigeria, but the conversation on who will be the man or woman to lead the opposition party to remove the APC from prominence, as they have boasted, has become a matter of intense debate. The Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed, says the North, again, should be given another opportunity to rule the country, especially the Northeast, in the interest of fairness and equity. He also stated that he would make his position known on his presidential ambition latest in February, but reviews again that he has already constituted a committee responsible for drafting out a blueprint for his administration as president. Take a listen to Governor Mohammed.
We are aware of the agitation of the southern part of the country because of the tenure of the leader of the country today, President Muhammadu Buhari, who is from the north, and he will be finishing his tenure in 2023. So power shall rotate to the south. But I want to say it and seize the opportunity to say that I am in PDP, I am not in APC. It is the APC that has this body. In my party, the last president was from the south, and he was my president, good like a belly. And during the period, my party was at the center 16 years. 14 of these years were led by the people from the south. So why is the justice and justification? So it is the turn of the north. And when you come to the north, as the chairman has said, northeast and southeast have not been there for too long. Only a short stint compared to other zones.
Well, there are a number of persons who have shown interest to fly the PDP flag, but the controversy over the zoning and choice of candidates has in fact created some sort of divisions. Take a listen to some of these arguments. I'll allow you to listen first and foremost to Kasim Afegbua on his position on the issue of the Governor Mohammed raised that the power should again go to the north. He doesn't believe so. He believes that he should go to the south. And he made specific advice to the party. Take a listen to Kasim Afegbua.
We are tired of seeing old faces. From 1990 up till 2019, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been contesting for president.
Is there anything wrong in that?
No, there's nothing wrong. But for God's sake, the PDP must change its strategy. If they want, in a plural society like Nigeria, what you need is to balance the equation. After 8 years in the north, then you come down south. The two parties must, as a matter of necessity for political stability, take their candidates from the south.
That was in this program earlier this week. Well, we have other conversation. Segun Showumi was on the program who countered him. But let me allow my guest tonight to weigh in on this. Maybe later on we might be able to allow you to listen to what Segun Showumi said on that. But let's allow Honorable Dachung Bagos, a member of the House of Representatives representing Plateau State, a member of the PDP in the House of Representatives. Thank you so much, Honorable, for coming on.
Thank you, Sean.
And we have Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon, a lawyer and a chieftain of the PDP. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sean. I'm glad to be here.
And perhaps let me begin with you, Mr. Imaswagbon. You heard what someone like Kasim Afegbua said about, and Governor Mohammed said, power should go to the north. But for some people in the PDP, like Kasim, they feel, interestingly, you and Kasim are from the same state. He feels that the power should go to the south.
It's laughable. You know, Kazim should not be taken very seriously. We're from the same state, so I know him. He's not a core politician. He's an activist. But having said that, the trouble of our country, the chaotic nature of our country today demands very serious, credible person. As PDP, Nigerians are waiting and praying to God Almighty that we must kick out the butt of APC. And to do so, we need a winning card and a winning material. And that material is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Is that the only person running your party?
No, of course not.
That has interest?
Of course not. But
because that was the contention of the program on that day.
Let me say this.
When Kasim said Atiku Abubakar and his likes should not even come to the fray because, according to them, they need new, fresh
okay, those who have
new
failed,
blood.
Those who have failed Nigeria in the past were younger people. Today, the problem of our country, where Nigeria is on the precipice, we're in trouble. Maybe show you don't even know how serious the problem of our country is, with due respect to you. I'll quickly go to other parts of the world. Very serious countries that have made it. Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore was 80 when he took charge of his country. And he laid the foundation for economic development for Singapore. Today, Singapore is one of the leading countries in the world. Ronald Reagan. Reagan is one of the greatest presidents of the American might or American nation. He was in his 78 onto 80s when he became. Even today, Joe Biden, when there were division, crisis in America as to the unity of American nation, President Barack Obama and very few other great Americans said they needed a Biden who has served 3 times in the Senate, a Biden who has been in Washington from Delaware, travels all the way from Delaware to Washington to be able to maneuver the Trump tricks. And it worked. For PDP, if we are serious at all, it is Atiku that can do the job. I will tell you why. One, God has prepared him for this time. God loves Nigeria so dearly, we do not know. Atiku have been running, yes. We need his expertise. We need his experience. He's an educationist. He's running a university. He runs water industry. He runs block industry. He serves as number 2 man in the country. He understands the problem. Atiku from the one who hit the ground running. A man that has 12 million votes in his pocket.
Why is your position against him in your party? Because you are one of those who think he should run.
Yes, I'll tell you, I have a problem.
Opposition.
Yes.
Honorable Bagos, I mean, what's your view on that?
Yeah, mine is...
you also think Atiku is the best man?
Well, sure. You know, my brother Ken, made mention of a little accusation on my own constituency, which is of the youth. We're from the same party, but I don't think that because you were a youth and you had failed the country. And secondly, I think what PDP is focusing on now, whosoever becomes the president or the candidate of PDP to run for the presidency will even be better than what we have today from the APC. And again, we shouldn't even use age now, because if we are using age, then which means if they start comparing us in the PDP with the age of our present president that we have not gotten what we want, then definitely our candidate will. So let's produce a candidate that will give. As far as I'm concerned,
age is not. It
shouldn't come because.
What about zoning?
Yeah, well, to me, zoning shouldn't even be part of it, because whosoever PDP produces as a candidate will be better than what we have in the APC administration now. In fairness, wheresoever the candidate comes from.
So it's a matter of anybody but APC,
is,
as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, it's anybody, but it will definitely be better than APC. Because now, if we allow propaganda and if we allow the oppositions to start making us to fight on the issue of zoning and the issue of who will be the candidate, then we will lose the point. Let's look at the issues. How have APC failed in the past 7 years? What are those issues that PDP will run for to campaign with? And whosoever PDP as a party carries those issues, whosoever becomes our candidate will put those issues on the table alongside with his own ideology to get this country back to track. But if we allow ourselves to start fighting on candidature, we allow ourselves to start fighting on zoning, then we will miss the mark before we get to the goal.
All right.
That's my own ideology. And again,
Honorable, I mean, you have been in politics. You've also been in politics. You've run for governor in your state. I mean, you've run for a few elections, becoming a federal lawmaker. But the question is that election is not just an event, it's a process. Yeah. And it started effectively. 2022 is that year where almost everything will be done. The question now is that, can we look away from the issues that shape our elections. The multiplicity of voices, the multiplicity of culture and race, the multiplicity of ethnic, the multiplicity of religion. Can we look away from it? On the issue of natural justice, the issue of fairness, can we look away from those issues?
It's something that has really brought us and set us back as a people and as a country. Ethnicity, religion, and some of those things that you have mentioned, those are the issues that have set us back as a country. We don't look at credibility. We don't look at that this person can deliver. When it's time, the North can say, this is what we want. It is our own turn. And when it gets to the North, whosoever they believe that because it's the North...
It's not crucial. The drafters of the Constitution, would they have put it there?
Yeah. No,
that every part of the country needs to be counted.
That is what, to me, in fairness, that has been the reason why we are where we are today. Because if something has happened, you will see the Northerners will rally around that this is our own, even if he's not doing well. And the Southerners will rally around that this is our own, even if he's not doing the well. Mine is that where those merit stands, where those integrity stands. It's not before even party politics. First of all, integrity. First of all, merit. First of all, the ability to be able to drive the process. So we shouldn't miss that in the first place. Whatsoever might come at the end of the day that will play politics of religion, will play politics of ethnicity.
I'm very sure you're from a region that is always agitated.
Yeah.
North Central is a region that is agitated in the power sharing. And Northeast is also sometimes agitated about this issue. Even the South was agitated until President Goodluck Jonathan came.
Yeah, because of
one of
fairness.
the issues that has usually been raised is that when it comes to the turn of considering some of the minorities, so to say, and you bring the issue of merit, people get offended.
Okay, now...
You know, let me allow you to...
Yes.
People get offended that you're not... When it comes to considering us, then you're talking about merit. Does it mean that the minorities don't have capabilities or capacity?
Because
let me allow...
Yeah, but let Ken come in first.
You know, yes, merit, there's a place for merit party politics. But for Nigerians, what Nigerians are asking from PDP, we must get it right. The first thing is that we must get APC out of the way. And who is the guy, who is the man among the litany of aspirants we have that can do this? Who is that guy? And that guy is Atiku. That's what I'm saying.
What about Bukola Saraki?
Yeah, he's a fine gentleman.
What about Yinsom Wike?
I'm coming.
What about Aminu
yes,
Tambuwa?
Great. I would
What about Mao Ohabunwa?
We've got litany
What about
of them,
Pius Ayin?
but they've not been tried in the polls. They've not been tried. Atiku have been tried. The people knows Atiku heart. The Nigerians know where Atiku stands on issues. Atiku is a bold person who takes a dive, who will tell you where he is. What Nigeria needs today, we need a courageous leader, one. We need a man who is very exposed, an exposed president, two. We need an experienced president, three. We need an industrialist, four. We need a man who understands the economics, five. We need a man who can create jobs, six. We need a man who can unify the country, seven. Eight, we need a man who will bring the country together, because nine, we need a man who can heal the country. 10, finally, we need a man from the one who will know what to do. I am not ashamed. I have a stake in the country. My candidate, the winning candidate of the party, I would even push and plead with our governors that these are times and days of strategy. Even to my young man who is in the Federal House of Bagos, that these are not time for us to make mistakes. If PDP goes to the election with a trial, a man that is not tested, no. Mark my words, today we will lose. I will regret it.
Do you agree?
Well, I agree with him on the items number 1 and to 10. As a serving member and with constituents and as a PDP person, it will be very wrong of me to publicly mention the name of a candidate. And he is at liberty to say that. But on issues of the kind of and the caliber of person we want from number 1 to 10, which I know, whosoever we can get that on. But when the time comes, like I said, as a party person and as someone that has followers, we'll definitely come and see who will convince us to move that ticket for. If Ken will be able to convince me outrightly that Atiku is the person during our convention, definitely will rally around. So as the leaders that we are already the face of the party, definitely will not come out to say, this is a candidate,
But
this
the
is a
question
candidate.
is that whether or not what Nigerians are bothered about, in fact, some Nigerians may not even know the color or the name of any political party. What they are bothered about is the quality of food. And in fact, the content of the food.
And that's why, that's why I said...
on their plate, that's what they are bothered about.
Yeah.
So the question now is, does your party, the PDP, have the wherewithal to be able, when you say you want to take APC out,
Absolutely.
what are you bringing to the
Come
table?
on,
because the APC will say that for 16 years, you made a mess of this country.
No.
Those are the allegations from the APC.
Because the APC government, that came into power through propaganda. They have promised Nigerians to fight against corruption, promised Nigeria to fight insecurity, promised Nigerians to take dollar back to 1 naira, promised Nigerians a lot of things that merely it's practically impossible. While PDP were campaigning on issues, the PDP's campaigns were issue-based. That look, this is where we are, and this is what
return Nigeria to the days when you were in power. And so, if you take those the word for it, if it's not propaganda, then we can start questioning also.
We all know.
If
we
you're
all know.
promising to take us back to those days, there are very big questions.
You know that things, what you used to get in the market is different from what you're getting now. The high level of insecurity in the country, then the former governor was talking about bombings in different places, but now as an individual, you can't travel from for 1 kilometer without being afraid. So these are issues that how can Nigerians be safe on the street? It's not about bombing, it's about the high level of kidnapping that has risen during this administration. The high level of dollars.
Does your party have the reputation?
But the high level of banditry. Let me tell you something, Sheun. It was during the PDP era that President Shehu Musa Yar'Adua was able to bring solution to the amnesty, to the unrest in the South. That a blueprint, and that's why the South today, it's very peaceful in terms of through the amnesty. But now the issue of mandatory...
The man from the South and the Niger Delta is clamoring for another candidate. Your final word. Your final thought.
My final word is that let's give out our winning card, our trump card is Atiku. We must win 2023 because Nigerians want to change. It's like putting the football in the 20-yard box. If we get it right, I would even advocate for a consensus of a candidate in Atiku, so that we could go to the South and pick any of the governors.
Atiku has led your party to an election and he lost.
He didn't.
So how do you convince the others
let's not go into
that it's better? No, because I wanted to wrap up. But when you are saying...
Wrapping up.
Because interestingly, I didn't know that you have a very strong passion about Atiku.
Atiku, yes, because that is our winning card. Atiku is the winning card. Whether you hate him, you like him, go to the streets of Nigeria. You say Atiku, everybody. Just like what Buhari was in 2015.
Are you able to conduct a poll by yourself?
I've done some magical polls.
Well, we need to leave that out, gentlemen. Let me just give you 20 seconds.
Welcome. This issue here now, Nigerians should be able to understand that we are on a roller coaster, that we need to set the clock back to where we need to go. Because if we definitely continue on this terrain and we don't look at 2023 with an eagle eye, because now the issue of propaganda will no longer work in Nigerian politics because people have felt it, and definitely unless the politicians want to go and do those political things, but Nigerians are ready that
elections
2023 will have a better thing.
Nigerians are also wiser.
And that's why
people's eyes are now more open than before. And I trust that some of our viewers who are watching, either from diaspora tonight or in Nigeria, they've made up their minds to take their destinies into their hands.
And that's why National Assembly...
And that's why we question you politicians to ensure that what you say, you make it happen. Thank you so much.
And that's why National Assembly we have been able to bring back the electoral bill to make sure that we have free and fair elections.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Kenneth Emaswagbo, chieftain of the PDP and a lawyer. Honorable Dachan Baggers, a member of the House of Reps, PDP from Plateau State. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Akimale. Bye for now.